Okay, so this is our week 4 webinar. So I'm just going to go over a few things. I think I'm going to go ahead and skip the general class stuff. That's been in the week 1, 2, and 3 webinar. So I think we can go ahead and skip that one. One thing to remember is that this week all assignments are due on Saturday at 11:59 p.m. instead of Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So keep that in mind as you're finishing up assignments for this week. And as I've said, please keep in mind that all grades are posted at the same time. So if we're waiting on one person, we're all, everybody's kind of waiting for everybody else to finish. Usually that's not a problem at all, so I wouldn't worry too much. But just keep it in mind and try to get your stuff done in a timely manner, please. But if you do need a little bit of an extension, I understand, life happens and sometimes things can't be helped. But so please, if something does happen and you need a little extra time, please contact me and I can give you an idea of, if we have a little extra time or, how much, things like that. So let's go ahead and get into it here. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. Usually I have a presentation going here, but I thought I'd just go straight to the source and go to our week 4 class so I can show you, where things are. First though, we do have a week 4 webinar. However, it's going to be a Twitter chat. So basically what I will do is on Monday, starting at about 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will begin posting questions and you can respond to those questions using the hashtag EDX6001X. And those questions you can respond to immediately if you'd like to kind of do this live, or you can just respond to them as the week progresses. Try to get everything done by, I believe I said by the Friday of the last week of class here. So I'll start posting them on Monday, and then if you could respond by Friday if you want to. It's optional. You don't need to be a part of it. But if you would like to, then try to get your responses posted by Friday. It is kind of interesting if you are interested in doing this. It's kind of interesting being there live because you can search for other people's responses and kind of see them as they're coming in, and it's more of a synchronous conversation. So it is interesting to be there live if you can. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Assignment number 1 this week is our technology integrated lesson plan. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be identifying a classroom learning problem. You're going to analyze that problem and then prepare a solution for that problem using technology. So that's the basic idea there. You're going to go ahead and to do this, there is a template that you want to use. So you don't want to use your own lesson plan format or something like that. You do need to use this technology lesson plan format here. So I'll go ahead and click on that and bring that up. Okay, so it is right there. You can click on it. It'll open up. It should open up in Microsoft Word. And then you're going to be filling out that template basically, which does make it kind of nice because you're basically just filling in the blanks. I mean, it's not as easy as that. You're going to have to do some research and come up with a good lesson plan, but you're basically going to go ahead and fill in the blanks of that lesson plan. You also want to go ahead and double check the assignment rubric here, which will outline how you get the points. So as you can see, there's a whole slew of things, areas where you get the points. Basically, these first ones here are all the different sections of the lesson plan, so you're going to want to make sure you just fill out every section thoroughly, and you should be okay with those. You want to pay attention to things like the rubric right here. You do need to create a rubric. There is a website called Rubistar that you can use that makes it very easy to make a rubric, but that's worth 30 points. And then you just want to make sure you check out these other areas too. Pick a software tool from chapters 3, 4, or 5. That's 15 points. Make sure that you use internet or web-based tools, kind of those Web 2.0 tools, if that, terminology is still in vogue or whatever. So just make sure you check this out and be sure to not miss anything there. Here's your lesson plan format here. So you're basically just opening this up. I have to click on Enable Editing here. And then you're just filling in these areas. I'm on a dual screen here. It's because I've got this big wide monitor that I'm looking at. But so you would just be filling in these areas, right? And finishing up that lesson plan. You want to pay, in my opinion, you want to pay close attention to the step-by-step procedures right here. I've seen assignments turned in where this is pretty thin. Like somebody just turns in maybe a paragraph or so, 4 or 5 sentences explaining the step-by-step procedures. So remember, as a teacher, the more you think this through, those step-by-step procedures, the better your lesson is going to go. The more prepared you are, obviously, the better your lesson is going to go. So you don't want to leave this one real thin here. You want to really think this one through. And, the more detail you have, the more, I'm convinced that, the lesson plan is going to go smoothly. You almost want to treat it like I'm a substitute in your class and I don't have the background knowledge that you do in order to run this lesson plan, and you want to put those step-by-step procedures right there. So that's one area that you're going to want to put some extra concentration on. And then don't forget things like, independent practice and a good closure that's going to bring all these concepts to a close and, cement those ideas into the student's mind. That's important as well. Other than that, just make sure you fill out all those areas, and I think you should be okay. All right, let's go ahead and go back over here, and let's go to the next assignment. And the next assignment is a post-lesson analysis. So for this one, you're basically, filling out another form. Here's the post-lesson analysis right here, so I'll go ahead and open that up again. So for this one, you are looking at the lesson that you just did, the previous assignment. So you're going to want to look at that lesson that you just did, and you're going to want to fill out this post-lesson analysis here. And this one basically is just filling out this form, looking at your lesson, looking at each of these questions here, and then filling out this form. Did it cover this thing? Yes or no? And then if it did, you're going to provide an example right there. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. I want to look at the rubric there that is right here at the end of the lesson. And you're going to want to make sure you just, basically these areas right here are the different sections of the template that I just showed you. So as long as you fill out each of those 3 areas, you're going to be okay. And then make sure you concentrate on spelling and grammar. There usually is a little bit about spelling and grammar in there too, so make sure you pay attention to that on pretty much everything that you do. Look for typos, things like that too. Oftentimes I do see typos, and that's considered a grammatical error as well. So make sure you pay some attention to that. There's a reference to the Collaborate session. We're going to call that our Twitter chat this week. So this section you can pretty much ignore if I don't, haven't already changed it. But you can pretty much ignore that because we are going to, and look at that, as I'm talking about the Twitter chat, there's a Twitter for Academia right here, the whole thing on Twitter. So this is good information to have as if you're going to participate in the Twitter chat. There's probably some good information about Twitter in there, and then I will be posting some information about Twitter as well to help you get started if you are interested in that. And then, of course, there's a discussion, so I'll go ahead and click on our discussions here so we can look at that. Okay, so for our discussion for this week, we're basically talking about the lesson plan that you've posted and kind of your analysis of that lesson plan. So you're going to discuss your ideas for your technology lesson plan. This, is probably prior to actually completing your lesson plan, since this should be, hopefully, well, it doesn't have to be, but, could be done earlier in the week. So you're going to be sort of brainstorming ideas about your technology lesson plan and the UDL, Universal Design for Learning strategies that might be included in your lesson plan. And then basically you are, of course, then posting 2 responses to other students, and you're trying to provide helpful feedback on what they've said. So you're going to post about your lesson plans, kind of brainstorming some of your ideas and UDL strategies, And then other people hopefully will be providing some helpful feedback on what they read about your lesson plan. And you'll be doing that for one another. That's basically about it for this week. I've enjoyed the class. Thank you very much for a really good class, and good luck in your next one if you have another class coming up. Thank you. Have a great day.